Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? It is a wet, kind of nasty day here, but it is what it is. Don't really matter. I woke up this morning, so it's going to be a good day, I guess. Let's take a look, see who we got hanging out with us this morning. Got John Howard. John, how are you doing? Great. Let's see, what do you say? Good morning, Dave. Great to have you back on in the AM. All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate the thumbs up. Y'all make sure you hit the thumbs up now. Wilson Rubottom, good morning, sir. Darren Birds is here. Good morning, Darren. How you doing? Mr. Larry Galt, 35. Holy cow. That's a little nippy for me. We're at about 54 right now, but it's wet, drizzly, foggy, just kind of, crummy. But it's all right. I got stuff I need to do inside today, so that'll be fine. George is here. Says hello all from Southeast Michigan. A mere 44 minutes west of Ann Arbor, Michigan. All right. Welcome, George. Darren Bird says, glad to see the coffee sessions back. All right, good deal. Well, make sure you hit the thumbs up then if you're glad that they're back, because that lets me know that you want me to keep doing them. So, Marcelo's here. Good morning, sir. David Burnett. Been a while. Glad to be back. Yeah. Gary Hammett. Good morning, sir. Here's my button thing. I guess it's working. Rob Schuster's in the house this morning. Good morning, Rob. My favorite solar man is here. Good morning, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Jim Sinicola. Good morning, Jim. Did you get some more of that snow up there? That's what you were talking about Monday, I think. You got some snow. Thomas Graham. Good morning, sir. Steve Gronsky says, good morning, Dave. Can you give me the degree code again? Yeah, let's see if I can remember it. It's Alt 176, I think. Let me try and see. Or maybe it's 0176. Yeah, it's 0176. Let me go ahead and hit that so you'll see. So it should pop up. Well, I should have put a number, I guess. I'll say it's 54 degrees right now. So I hit Alt 0176 and bingo. There it is. 54 degrees here right now. And I don't know that it's going to get a whole lot higher than that. They're talking like it's going to be below freezing on Saturday, for crying out loud. I mean, man, it's practically the middle of March. But anyway, next week it'll start warming back up, I hope, anyway. Maybe it will. Dave B says, morning, everybody. 29 here in Kansas this morning. They said we'll break our 50-degree mark, then snow on Friday. My old arthritic bones are ready for summer. Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Ryan says we had 76 on Monday. Today, a winter mix. Yeah. Bruce Foley's here. Good morning, Bruce. Let's see. Gary says, I think the worst of the weather is past storms about 5 a.m. All right. Yeah, it's awful wet around here. Okay, Darren said I did, so I guess that means hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. And we got a bunch of them over there. Good deal. Good. I was afraid I was going to have to retrain y'all. We about had y'all trained pretty good about 4 months ago, but we hadn't done one of these in a while. Mr. Ed's here. How you doing, Ed? George says, indeed, I am thrilled Dave Gatton is back chatting about irrelevant topics, but very well received. Yeah, we just, shoot the breeze, drink coffee. That's what it's about. Sometimes rant a little bit on some things, but I try not to get wound up on stuff. I went to watch some of the news this morning just to check the weather. And my poor old antenna, I need to get out there and check the connection and raise it up or something. I'm not sure what, because it's, and it doesn't matter. It can be a perfectly clear day. Sometimes my favorite channel comes in, sometimes it don't. And sometimes when it's not coming in, I can go to the menu on the thing and tell it to reprogram the channels, and then it'll go through and, it takes about 5 minutes to go through and search for the channels. And then when it gets done, it may come in great and it may not come in any better. I never know. So, but what's weird, it seems like, now I don't know why it's not coming in good today, but it seems like usually when it's cloudy, I guess because the lower thing, the signal bounces off the cloud or something better. But usually if it's real clear, I have trouble getting reception. But if it's cloudy, it's usually pretty good. But wasn't having none of it this morning. It didn't even come in good enough to try to watch it. So Larry says also Alt 248. All right. I think there probably is 2 or 3 different ways to do it. That's just the one that, and like I said, I almost had to think for a minute what it was because I don't use it all the time. Ed said he's in a tornado watch. All right, well, be careful down there. I don't know. We might be on one. I don't know. It is kind of weird out, with weather like this. But Gary says we still have Blackberry winter to go. Rob showing off out there. Look at him. 70s and 80s here in the 10-day forecast. Come on down to Arizona. Hurry before it gets summer. Yeah. John said he's back. Says his alert didn't work. Well, it probably didn't work because I had the time screwed up. I had yesterday I had set the scheduled my Saturday night show, so it was on 9 p.m. and then later on I scheduled the coffee sessions for this morning, but I had 9 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. And then when I come in here and turned it on, I saw that, so I edited it and it corrected it. But if you had already set a reminder, it may have the wrong time or something. I don't know how that works. Got some Facebookers dragging in here. Old Doc Whitaker, how you doing, Doc? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Billy McGee's here. Good morning, Billy. But yeah, it's gonna be a rainy day, but that's okay. I got lots to do. I'm pretty stoked because I had to run my final finishing pass on the project I've got in that Bob CNC Revolution rotary thing. And I knew it was going to take a while because I was using that. And I misspoke yesterday because I was saying that I thought the smallest bit I had was a 16th diameter with a 32nd radius tip. And that's not what it is. It was a 32nd diameter with a 64th radius tip. It's that little teeny tiny one, tapered ball nose. I mean, it doesn't. It's round on the bottom, but it looks like a point because it's so tiny. But and anytime you use that, the step over was like 1.5 thousandths of an inch. So I knew it was going to take a long time, and I drew a vector to get just the detail that I needed to get with that thing. I didn't have it go over the whole thing. But I got to say that Bob's Revolution rotary thing is really working good. It ran all day long. That cycle time was 8 hours and 3 minutes. Never missed a beat. And I was not out there at all watching it. I hit it, got it going, and spent the day either in the office back here, and I had it on the camera where I could make sure it was still going back and forth, or I could hear it when I was in the other room. And then I would set a timer with Alexa for 30 minutes. And so every 30 minutes when her timer would go off, I'd go out there and check it, shoot another few minutes of video, because I'm shooting video of this as I go. So, but I was so happy that it made it all the way through that, because it's really, you know, kick in the gut when you have all that time invested in all these different tool paths, and then it messes up on something at the end. But it looks great, and y'all will be seeing it. I don't know when I'm gonna put that video out. Maybe Saturday morning, maybe Friday morning. I don't know. I got to get it all edited, and plus I've got it's still in the machine right now. I've got to cut it out of the machine and do a test piece with some finish, because I'm not sure how I want to finish it, but it's going to be pretty nice. I think I'm really happy with it. Came out really good. George says, what router motor are you using with the Bob's Revolution? It came with the Makita, not a big one, but I don't know Makita's well enough to know the model number. Let's see if I can look it up here. He's probably got it on his website. And I think I've got there. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I got where I can't see nothing anymore. And then I have to tilt my head up so I can look through the lower part, read the fine print here. Where have I got that? Maybe it's here. Nope. Oh, no. Oh, here we go, right up here. Duh. All right, I'll be able to tell you here in a minute what that comes with. There it is, specifications. Let's look at that. Maybe it's under features. Okay, here we go. Makita RT0701C, a variable speed router. But it's not very, it's not very big. It might be a little bit bigger around than a DeWalt 611. I'm not sure. It's kind of, it's kind of about that same size, I think. But it's working great. It hadn't given me any trouble at all. And like I said, I've been keeping track of so that when I do the video, because I figure people will always comment and say, well, how long did that take? So I've got it right here. The rounding tool path took 1 hour and 7 minutes, and that was done with just a 1/4 inch up spiral end mill. Then I did two different pocket tool paths, just do a relief on each end of the workpiece. That took 59 minutes. Then the roughing pass that and again, I'm still using the 1/4 inch end mill. That took 4 hours and 43 minutes. So we've got, let's see, that's almost, we'll call that 5, 6. We got 7 hours just right there, just getting it rounded and roughed out. And then the first finishing pass that I used my tapered ball nose 1/8 inch with the 1/16 radius tip took 3 hours and 24 minutes. And then the second finishing pass, which I ran yesterday, took 8 hours and 3 minutes. Why did that do that? Which I just realized I thought I had that plugged in here, but I didn't. So make sure I get that put in there before I forget what it is. Okay, so let's see, we said 7 hours there, then another 3.5, so that's 10.5. And then right at 8 hours there, so that's about 18.5 hours total over, I think, 3 days. Yeah, 3 days is what I did. But that I'm just so happy to have it done and know that now if I don't screw it up cutting it off, cutting it out of there, that'd be good. But let's see. Looks like Ed's getting it down there. So it's got to go. We're getting heavy rain and winds. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, I probably should check the radar, see if any of that's heading up this way. Ed's probably about an hour from me. He's farther south than I am. Okay, Ryan says it's same. It's okay. So the DeWalt would fit in that thing too. I thought they were slightly a different size, but maybe not. I don't know. If they are the exact same size, then that means, because I have a nice aluminum mount on one of my other machines that I use with the DeWalt 611. So if they're the same size, that means I could put that Makita over there as well. So that'd be cool. But yeah, Ryan, I can't wait for you to see this thing I've been working on. It really looks good. I'm so glad I went ahead and risked it and did that final finishing pass with that teeny tiny bit. It is well worth it. And it was, it was rainy anyway. I did have some stuff I kind of needed to do, errands to run, so I didn't get to do those yesterday because I'm not going, I may come in the house and let it run, but I'm not going to take off and go to the store or something. I'm not that crazy. So, yeah, George just looked up the stuff here. Makita 1.25 maximum horsepower. Yeah. I know it says on the box that, or somewhere on it, it says that it's 10,000 to 30,000 RPM. And then, of course, it's got the little wheel with the dial from 1 to 6. And I run it at about 4. So I don't know what that would be RPM wise, but that, okay, Rob says he had to go out and look at his. All right, so you got the same thing. That's a good little router. I'm pretty impressed with it there. And I've always heard people say that out of all the routers, that one seems to be quieter. Now I haven't done my little decibel meter check on it to see, but it does seem like it's pretty quiet. And especially once you get past the roughing things, because when you're doing the finishing thing, you don't hear much noise at all because it's only taking, just a little bit off, skimming across the top. So, um, George says, not much different from my Porter cable. Yeah, I have a Porter cable 450, which is, if you set it down next to the DeWalt 611, other than the color, and the DeWalt has the variable speed. I don't know why they don't put the variable speed on the Porter cable, or didn't. I don't guess they make them anymore. But it looks like it was made in the same place. I mean, everything's exactly the same except for the color and the variable speed knob. Yeah, Rob said he's running 12-hour plus jobs, no issues. Yeah, I figure, that's one thing that's never worried me with the router. I just turn it on and let it go, and don't worry about it. Like I said, I like to be able to hear them though, because I remember one time years ago, I was running, of all things, it was one of those Aztec calendars, and we all know how long those things can take. And it was with my Porter Cable 690 router, and I'd come in and was eating lunch or something, and I could tell it starting to sound funny. It almost sounded like it was starting to sputter a little bit. So I jumped up and ran out there, and just happened to catch it when it was raising up and getting ready to make a rapid move somewhere. So I stopped it, and as soon as I stopped it, the router stopped by itself. So I thought, it's probably the brushes. But fortunately, I had another one just like it, so I just swapped it out and put the bit in the other one and reset the zero and stuff, and off to the races I went. Didn't have any problem, didn't lose my work piece, and then I just had to get online and order some brushes. And then after that, I usually keep brushes laying around, although I couldn't tell you where they're at right now. So if I did need them, I'd probably have to order them again, because I can't find them. Y'all do that? You get spare parts for stuff, and then when you need them, you can't find them. Let's see here. All this CNC talk this morning. Did I? Okay, I thought I'd missed some comments, but I guess I didn't. Thomas says, I have a totally mechanical rotary from Craftsman. About 50 years ago. It did nice spiral carvings, but never really used it. Yeah, I really like this little Bob's thing. It's not real big, it's light enough that if I want to pick it up and move it somewhere, I can do that. Of course, I have it sitting on that workbench that's on casters, and I've even dug out my old. I had some old scrap 1/8 Lexan that when I used to work at one of the sheet metal shops, they made some stuff for an electrical company, electrical contractor, and they would do jobs in hospitals. And so they needed to be able to keep the dust down to a minimum. So we made these big things that sat on these scissor lifts. So they would, they'd get in the scissor lift and steer it around to where they wanted. And it had these big Lexan walls around it, and then they would raise it up and get that thing right up next to the ceiling, so that when they're putting in electrical wiring and stuff, there wouldn't be any kind of junk fly out. It would all stay right inside that little thing. Well, when we would replace one of those, they had a bunch of that stuff and they were going to throw it away. And I said, hey, can I have that stuff? They go, oh yeah, we're just going to throw it in the dumpster. So I took it. Of course, it already had some holes in it and all that, but I took like a 2x4 and, cut it down the middle and make some 2x2s and just made a simple frame and have it where I just have a panel with that Lexan. Now it's not real clear. It's scratched up and dirty and all that because it was used when I got it. But it's great for keeping the dust uh, from just going everywhere. So I have like a 3-sided thing. And the way it worked out is that the big long panel that I had across the back is exactly the same or about the same length as that workbench that I have that little rotary sitting on. So, and then I just used two of the panels, like because I used to have four, two on each side, but I just used two of those, and it works out really good. Kind of keeps the dust from that thing, other than the real fine dust that floats everywhere. But it does keep the big mess contained a little bit. Ray's here. You're the first of the Whitaker boy. Well, no, I'm sorry. Doc was first. He came in earlier. I forgot about him. He's up there somewhere. You're the second Whitaker boy I've seen in here. Maybe Carl will make it in here. I don't know. Hollis Finn, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a while. But let's see, my time's already about up. I did hit my button this morning, so we'll see. My timer should go off. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's just about jiving with what that says up there. So, all right. Charles Steed is here. Good morning, Charles. George says, I'm having a hard time finding Porter cable 890 replacement. One in the Gatton, one to freehand. Well, I heard that they were going to stop making the Porter cable, that they were going to be replaced with a DeWalt. I don't know whether DeWalt bought them or what. I don't know how all that stuff works, but that's what I've seen. And I've noticed, because used to, and I don't know whether you still could or not, but used to you could go on Amazon, and if you searched hard enough, you could find just the motor. You wouldn't have to buy the whole router and get the plunge thing and all that, because if you were going to put it on a machine, you didn't need all that anyway. But you could buy just the motor. In fact, that's how I bought my that big Porter cable, the 7518, I think is what it is. It's a hoss, man. It's way bigger around than the 690 and the 890, because they're the same size. They're 3.5. But yeah, looks like all my little buttons are working good. Let's see. All right. Hollis says he could use a couple of Pine license plate boxes. I got to get out there and get them, Hollis. I ain't done much of nothing as far as cigar box guitar stuff in a while. But I need to get out there. I got some blanks. I think I can cut them. Let's see here. Marcella says I need to check my brushes. Already changed them once over the past 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, that's usually what'll go wrong with them, and it's they're consumable items. So, and these routers that us CNC guys use, they're not really made. They're not really made to run just hours and hours and hours. They will, but the brushes, are going to wear. So the more you run it, the faster you use up them brushes. If you use one just for hand routing, you may have it your whole lifetime and never have to replace the brushes. But You put it on a CNC, it's a different ballgame. Larry says, I'd like to have a revolution, but not sure about the setup of electronics. Do a video. Okay. I can do that. It's really easy. I have been now for this project, and like I said, the one I'm going to be showing in the video that I've got to edit, you can see that it's real complicated. So I didn't use the Bob CNC basic cam because it only does just real basic stuff because it's free. But I used the Vectric with it to do the programming, but I did use the what's he call it? The basic sender, the Bob CNC basic sender. That's what I've been using here late. I only used that universal G code sender, that first little project I did. But then after he came out with the basic sender, I started using it and it works great. So, but yeah, I'll probably include in the video that I'm going to do, I'm probably going to show how I programmed it in VCar Pro. And I do have this little setup here where this is basically just like, or pretty much like what's on the back of that Revolution machine. It's an Arduino with a CNC shield. And then I can just take this little USB thing, plug it in right here, and shoot video on how to do the basic sender and record it through StreamYard right here. So I didn't even have to go out to the shop to do that. So I probably will do that, especially now since you asked for it, Larry. You know, you asked for it, I'll give it to you, buddy. Let's see. Gary says, I looked at buying just the motor and it was more than the whole thing, but that was about a year ago. Yeah, sometimes they try to get you that way. If you want just the motor, you really it's either the same or more, or sometimes if it's a little less, it's not that much less. You figure you might as well go ahead and get an extra plunge attachment and all that stuff. Miss Diane is here this morning. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Got a smiley face there, so I guess you are. That's good. All right, well, I'm over my time limit, and I got to get going. I know you guys got to get going too. So everybody have an awesome Wednesday. Stay safe if you're around any storms and stuff. I guess I better go see what the weather says. I better take a closer look, because if Ed's getting hit with stuff down there, like I said, he's about an hour south of me. I better make sure nothing's planning on coming up this way. So anyway, y'all have a good Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. And we will see y'all sometime tomorrow. Take care, everybody.